Hey, YouTube friends! Thanks for coming back to Unscripted Finance. Today, we have some very important advice from the famous Cathie Wood that you should not miss. If you own Tesla stock, you should definitely be there for this. But before we start, don't forget to click the subscribe button and set off the alarm so you never miss an update on the market. Let's begin. Part 1. Drawing attention to Cathie Wood's posture. Cathie Wood, the visionary investor and head of ARK Invest, recently said some very interesting things about Tesla. So, she says that now might not be the best time to sell your Tesla stock. So why does she want investors to stay put? Let us break it down. Part 2. Tesla's new ideas and the market's possibilities. The company's constant innovation is one of the main reasons Cathie Wood says people shouldn't sell Tesla stock. Tesla is at the cutting edge of technologies that will change the world, from electric cars to energy solutions and more. Cathie thinks that Tesla has a lot of promise that hasn't been fully realized yet, and she sees a lot of room for growth in many markets. Segment 3. Long-term vision versus short-term volatility. Wood stresses how important it is to keep an eye on Tesla over the long term. There may be short-term changes in the market, but investors can weather the storms and possibly make a lot of money by focusing on the company's core strengths and how they will affect the future. Part 4. Possible catalysts on the horizon. Are there specific events that Cathie Wood thinks will set things off? Whether it's improvements in self-driving cars, entering new markets, or making big steps forward in green energy, Tesla is working on a number of projects that could change the game. These things might help the stock do well in the future. Part 5. Talking about worries and risks. Of course, there are risks with every investment. Cathie Wood agrees with this and says buyers should be aware of possible problems. It's important to understand and account for these risks when making choices, whether they come from regulations, competition, or the global economy. Segment 6. Market sentiment and analyst views. We'll look at what other analysts are saying about Tesla in the context of the market as a whole. Understanding different points of view can help you see things more clearly. Before making any financial choices, it's always important to look at things from different points of view. Part 7. Tesla's financial health. Cathie Wood talks a lot about how important it is for a company to have good financial health. We'll look at Tesla's financials and key measures and indicators in this section. A big part of an investment's long-term success can depend on how strong its financial roots are. Part 8. Interaction with fans. Before we end, let's hear from our viewers. Do you agree with Cathie Wood that you should keep your Tesla stock? Are you thinking about any other electric cars or tech stocks? Leave your ideas in the comments, and let's talk about it. Your ideas might be useful for other buyers. Part 9. Market trends and industry changes. As we think about Tesla's future, it's important to look at bigger market trends and industry changes. How is the market for electric cars changing? What new ideas are changing the car and clean energy industries? We can better understand Tesla's situation and potential if we look at the bigger picture. Part 10. Cathie Wood's past events. Before taking someone's help, you should look at what they've done in the past. Cathie Wood is well known for the smart ways she invests her money. We'll take a quick look at some of her most important calls and how her past predictions have turned out in the market. Part 11. Strategies for diversification. Cathie Wood talks about how important it is to diversify, even though hanging on to Tesla may be a good idea. We'll talk about how spreading your money around different industries and types of assets can help you lower your risk and get the best long-term results. Part 12. Keeping an eye on key metrics. It's important to keep an eye on key metrics on a daily basis to keep track of your Tesla investment. This part will talk about some important numbers that investors should keep an eye on to see how Tesla is doing over time, such as the number of deliveries, sales growth, and margins. Part 13. How investors feel and how social media affects business. We'll look at how investor sentiment, especially on social media sites, can affect stock movements in ways that go beyond traditional analysis. Reading what people are saying about Tesla on sites like Reddit and Twitter can help you figure out how the market feels and what short-term changes might happen. Part 14, Tesla's global growth. Cathie Wood often talks about how important it is for a business to be able to grow internationally. We'll talk about Tesla's international footprint and how its move into new markets could help it grow in this segment. A company like Tesla's growth depends a lot on how demand and rules change around the world. Part 15, Things that might cause stocks to go up. What could cause a big jump in Tesla's stock price? We will talk about possible catalysts, such as big changes in regulations, strategic partnerships, or groundbreaking technological advances. Investors can stay ahead of possible market moves by figuring out these catalysts. Part 16, Making sure your expectations are reasonable. The future looks bright for Tesla, but it's important to keep things in perspective. A lot of the time, Cathie Wood talks about how important it is to know how long your investments will last. We'll talk about how having realistic goals can help you handle changes in the market better. Part 17, Other investment options besides holding Tesla stock. Cathie Wood suggests holding on to Tesla stock, but we'll look at other investment options for those who want to diversify. Are there any other high-potential stocks or industries that fit with the way the market is going right now? We'll talk about some possible options to think about for a well-rounded investment portfolio. Part 18, Group Q&A. We'll answer some of the questions and comments from our community in this part. Your participation is very important, and we'll use this chance to answer viewer questions, share more information, and encourage a sense of community talk. Let us know what questions you have in the comments for future Q&As. Part 19, Keeping up with Tesla news. It's important to keep up with the latest news about your Tesla investment if you want to stay informed. We'll talk about some trustworthy websites and apps where you can get up-to-date news about Tesla's progress, earnings reports, and other important information that could affect your investment choices. Segment 20, Final thoughts and a call to action. Before we end, we'll talk about some last thoughts on Tesla and the market as a whole. If you learned something from today's video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with other investors, and subscribe for more helpful videos. We want to thank all of you for your help, which keeps us going. Have a great time buying until next time. Part 21, What holding Tesla stock means for your taxes. Holding on to a stock can have tax effects. We will talk about how the length of time you hold an investment can affect capital gains taxes and look at some possible tax methods for getting the best returns. Knowing how taxes work is an important part of planning for long-term investments. Talk 22, Cathie Wood's investment philosophy. We'll take a deeper look at Cathie Wood's investment philosophy and talk about how her approach to disruptive innovation fits with Tesla's goal. People who want to align their own investment mindset with hers can benefit from understanding the bigger picture of her investment strategy. Segment 23, Short-term versus long-term trading strategies. Cathie Wood says you should hold on to your Tesla stock. But first we'll talk briefly about the differences between short-term and long-term trading strategies. We'll talk about the pros and cons of each plan, which will help viewers choose the one that fits their investment goals the best. Part 20